Hi guys, it's Tracy in Australia and it's time for another journal share. This is a Tattie Little Boho journal that I created over the last couple of days. It measures 4 by 5 and it's very similar in construction to the shabby Tattie journal that I posted the other day. So I have created this cover kind of like a giant snippet roll. I found everything in my stash that was vibrant and glittery. So sari silk, there's braid, this was a flower, these were little trims off a costume, there's a little bit of some dresses, just a little bit of velvet trim, a little bit of organza ribbon with some glitter on it, just as many elements and fibers and textures as I could. And I've sewn those onto a base layer of fabric. Actually, there's a layer of fabric and then some black lace, but that's the only little bit of lace that you can actually see. So loads and loads of sewing, and you can see all the black threads. On the inside, I used part of an old or a secondhand Indian tunic that I found at an opportunity shop, and I've also gone around the edges with this braid that's also an opportunity shop find. So a lot of recycling on this one. Now it measures 4 by 5 and I haven't counted up the pages, but I will do that and leave it in the description box. I would like to say thank you to Sandra Ireland for sending me a rack with lots of gorgeous fabrics, which I've actually included on the base when I started doing this, and it certainly gave me the inspiration to do it. So thank you, Sandra. And also to Rainy Day Gypsy for her Amelia tutorial, and that kind of inspired my using the envelope here. So this is actually an envelope. I've tea dyed it, done some collaging on it, including a photo over here, and at the top I've used that as a pocket and popped in some printed ephemera. So I haven't actually used an envelope in this way before, really. So when I was putting the papers together, I just wanted to get lots of different types of things, spare paper that you have around that you could turn into a little notebook or place to make lists and do things like that. So definitely a little scrappy book. So this is watercolor paper, and I've done a little bit of stamping. It says Dare to Dream. I use muslin down the side just to give a bit of rigidity to these papers. They're beautiful texture but very soft. So you could write or draw or paint on those. Some vintage music paper, which I've collaged a napkin onto. Here I've used washi and sewed around to create a little pocket. This is actually a photocopy of a vintage ledger page that was sent to me by my friend Fabienne. So it's French. So thank you so much, Fabienne. I love this page and I'm going to use it a lot. It's too precious to cut up the original though, so I'm photocopying it. And here I've used some beautiful vintage cotton lace to make a little pocket. I sewed that and then did a little bit of collaging here. Look at this gorgeous little trim. My friend Roz found some trim in a Mend and Make Do shop, and she very generously bought some and shared it with me. So that's it's just beautiful. It's original sari trim, or luscious, just fantastic to use and perfect for this journal. Little dragonfly stamp up there. These are actually the stamps that I'm using are Finnabar stamps, and I'm really loving those at the moment. French receipt that I have printed out, and then a lot of collaging on this page here with a little bit of stamping and using fibers and just bits of pages and bits of ephemera. So this is actually paper from a vintage photo album, just a little scrap of that, another piece of vintage music paper. Here I've made a little pocket. Don't you just love the way a tiny little scrap of sari silk just put on there just gives so much colour to the page. Live Inspired. here's a little flip out. I've used washi tape there, created a little tuck spot with these 2 pieces of ephemera and put a little photo of another little girl dressed as a gypsy. In the center, I've popped this little butterfly, done a little bit of stamping. Here I have attached an envelope with a paper clip and just put some fiber on that. This is actually an envelope that came to me as part of a prize that I won from the wonderful Which Craft Do You Do? And I just added in some extra collaging, but I got a gorgeous gift and I've really loved using that. It's a great shop, go and visit it. Which Craft Do You Do? Again, a little stamp, don't forget to fly, and then some collaging onto some vintage music paper. Here I've put a little pocket. This is a commercial piece, I can't remember who that's from, and then one of these little blingy bits. Another piece of printed ephemera in the form of a French check. Some more stamp book paper. And this is the other side of that receipt, and I've just made a little pocket and put some pieces in there. Spread your wings. Might put something on there, have not decided yet. Here I used a gorgeous little piece of fabric, which is embroidered, and this was gifted to me again by my friend Roz, and there, Rosie, there's one of those little pieces that I snipped off that gorgeous trim that you bought up yesterday. Little decoupaged dragonfly, and just that little pop of colour there with some sequins and another little bit of lace under there and some more decoupaging, soul whispers, little butterfly, and then that envelope. So in the pocket there's a little piece of ephemera, and then on the back I created a little belly band, did some decoupaging or collaging. I did collaging, no decoupage this time, little different elements, and I popped in this little piece of ephemera. So the ephemera's all been tea dyed and inked, and yeah, I had a lot of fun creating this little journal. I will put down how many pages are in it. I hope you've enjoyed having a little flip through. If you've got any questions, please put them in the description box, and thank you so much for watching. Catch you again soon, guys.